Hi everybody, my name is Jaila and I'm going to tell you about my experience in Segal. So, who am I? Like I said, my name is Jaila I'm a policy scholar at Brown University studying health science, society, policy, and women's and sexuality studies. So I'm currently actually studying abroad in Copenhagen, Denmark, so that's why I'm doing this virtually. And two words that I like to describe myself are both queer and activist, which I believe those two identities really ties into the work that I want to do. So what did I do this summer? So I worked at the Door, which is a basically kind of like a community center slash school. It had a lot, but it was a community center in Upper New York. And the Door's mission is to empower young people to reach their full potential by providing comprehensive youth development services in a diverse and caring environment. So I particularly worked in the Adolescent Health Center where I worked to increase patient water usage by 40% or a little bit around 40%. And I kind of did that through like tabling, patient interaction, conducting surveys, things of that nature. So what's my purpose? What do I want to do in the future? So the Door was very good in terms of basically like the work that I want to do. So one in target audience, and then two just in the environment that I want to like one day be in the future. So I particularly want to help like adolescents, specifically like for students of color, basically like gain a better understanding of like who they are and like how those identities kind of like come together to either harm them or like benefit them in terms of like understanding like how those ideas can be seen or read, especially in today's like political climate. And I specifically want to work towards like increasing like health literacy, so basically like understanding how, because queer students of color are such a marginalized group, basically like how to figure out how to help them figure out how to navigate something as simple as their health. And overall, one day I want to hopefully open my own health center that's particular for students of color. For queer students of color, obviously, like that's not just gonna be like the only audience that will help. But I do want to specifically like help them in terms of like how to navigate their health, overall like education of their health, and especially like health education. I feel like that's kind of what's lacking in curriculum now. So Segal said that. One of the big things that Segal taught me how to do is learn how to advocate for myself. So we did a bunch of different like activities throughout the semester. So for example, we did a role playing activity that like had you like figure out like, oh, in this situation, like how would you interact with your like boss, or like how would you navigate like this situation. So like honestly, like I was able to figure out like how to do that through my internship, because granted like my internship was very much so geared toward what I want to do in the future, but there were also like moments in time where I was kind of like, okay, like this may not fit completely into what I want to do. So I was able to like talk to my boss Tamir, or like talk to other people within the Door. And for example, I was able to help with Pride Prom, which was a really big thing. And I also like helped with the Pride Parade. So like I was able to help with things that specifically like target the audience that I want to one day help. And I was just also able to like truly embody like and learn what a citizen leader was, and like how they navigate the world in order to like help the well-being of others, which I feel like is something that we all strive to do. So I truly like got a chance to do that as well. So looking to the future, kind of like what I want to do as a career path. So first off, Segal and the Door like helped me solidify and like fully understand like my purpose and like what I wanted to do. Also like the Door and Segal like opened my eyes to like figure out like, oh, like I do want to work in like a community center kind of situation, but like also like in terms of like nonprofit organizations, like understanding fully both like how they work day to day, but also like administrative work, because that's kind of where I was lacking in terms of like my education of that. Also like it just helped me understand like the pros and cons of different like programming and like how those are implemented. So like different things that the Door did, or like how Segal like taught us, basically like how like nonprofits and like different organizations run. I was truly able to like see in real world context like how those like programming to work. Also, like through Segal, I was able to like travel to New York for the first time, and like experience a city that I one day want to live in. So those I think were really, really, really important. And just like overall, like how did Segal impact you? So first off, I feel like I can truly now say that like I know my purpose in life and like I know what I want to do, like how I want to like go about it. Like granted, like the path that I may have may not be exactly what I envisioned, but like also like Segal is giving me confidence to like say like okay like you don't have to know exactly like what your path is or like how it may like the trajectory may be. So I'm truly truly grateful for that. So that's all. I hope you enjoy your presentation and thank you.